All right, so what has been your favorite Geneva athletic memory?
Oh man, there's been a lot. There's been a lot of good ones. Probably, I would say our trip to Europe when we went to Scotland and England between our sophomore spring. That was awesome because I mean it was like 25 guys, the coaching staff, and it's like you went on vacation with 25 of your best friends and you did everything together for 10 straight days. I mean, we went to Champions League games, we went to EPL games. I mean, we toured London, we saw Scotland, climbed a mountain in Edinburgh with all the guys, and then saw Edinburgh Castle. I mean, it was just, I mean, there's so many good stories from that vacation I'd like to tell. And we played 3 good high-level teams, and we beat all 3 of them pretty handily. It was pretty funny because they got a little physical at the end because they did not want to lose to the Americans. But it was, that was probably my favorite.
Better than the Pack Trophy?
See, there's a lot of good ones. But,
that was my guess. Okay. You were gonna say.
But I enjoyed the trip more because it was longer. The Pack Trophy was more of a sigh of relief.
Right.
Because I was like, all right, I got it done. Okay, so I know I have a bunch of favorite of Geneva men's soccer players, but who was your favorite Geneva softball player growing up? It could be, recently too.
Probably Haley Cionato. That's her maiden name. So like Haley Quallen now, I think is how I pronounce it. But that was like the age of like when I actually started, like understand what was happening and like not just like a little girl running on the field. So like the bus at my like middle school would like, instead of taking me home, they would drop me off at the softball field as my bus stop. And so like I would walk down there and I'd like get there and I would do the scoreboard. But I would say Haley, just because I'm like, I still have a relationship with her now, and I think she's made an impact on me of like looking up to like, you think at that point like they're Jenny Finch and like they're the best player in the world. So,
yeah,
like,
exactly.
At that point, definitely that's who I would say has been like someone I looked up to as like a star player.
When I was a freshman, when I told him I was going to commit to Geneva, I told him, I was like, hey, because I need to say this so I can understand it. You need to be harder on me than everyone else.
Yeah.
Because I know you're going to be, and I know I need to say that so I can't complain about it later.
My dad coached me in travel ball for 1 year, and that was like a sample of how that would go. It didn't go well at all in travel ball. It went a lot better in college. But just with that, like he always said like you have to be able to hit 500 and not 300. Because like a person who's hitting 300, they have to head over you because he was my dad.
Oh,
and so he wanted to eliminate any type of like accusation that he was playing favorites. Like he wanted to eliminate all of that. So like he just always told me be better.
Yeah,
you be better.
You don't want to be the stereotype coach's kid.
That's what I mean. It was very much so like earn your spot plus more. We've butt heads a lot of it, but like I think our relationship has definitely grown closer, and like he's seen me grow up and evolve. Like I obviously am not the same person that I was when I first arrived here, and like just being able to grow in Christian faith and grow alongside him and like him as a mentor, as a coach, and also my father. Like I think that has made a big impact in it, and obviously like the support system of it. Like having your coach who's also your father is like an entirely different feel of a support system. You know what I mean?
It's like 2 layers.
Yeah.
Okay, other than your dad, who was the most supportive family member? How did they support you? And did they take your dad's side or your side during an argument?
So as for like, obviously my mom is very supportive and like she's always played like the middle person of like, well, it's okay. Like she's just very calm, the opposite of me and my father. And she's very like, just think about it. Like you have to see it from his point of view, So she's been a huge support system in that relationship. But also on my dad's side, my Uncle George and my Uncle Mike, my Uncle Mike just passed last year, but like that side of my family, they've always been very involved in sports. Like my grandpa and stuff, he was an All-American at Pitt and everything, and
football, basketball,
football, soccer, baseball, all 3. My Uncle Mike, he like used to keep my stats like by himself, and like he would like call my dad and stuff and be like, well, why isn't she doing, like, why are you not having her do this? Well, like, and like it was just a big thing. So like my dad's side of the family always takes my side. Like, they're always like, she's the best athlete in the family. Like, you're treating her terribly. And, like, it is just back and forth. Like, he hears it all the time. But, yeah, my Uncle George and Uncle Mike are definitely a big support system in my sport. And obviously Derek, my fiance, he's the best. He is the best. He's the best. So he supports me and makes me work harder. And he's been with me for 3 years out of my college experience. So just being able to have him as a support system, and he's balancing state police, and he is almost at every game. So just having that person who's always there, who's, not my father, is nice.
It's nice, yeah.
So, yeah. Do you have someone?
Yeah. I would definitely say, my mom, my sister, and my younger brother. I want to take this time to apologize for my sister. I drug her to so many summertime baseball games, and she just sat there for hours because we won so many games. Yeah.
And you didn't even play baseball.
I played baseball that was my second best sport besides basketball. It was soccer, baseball, and then like basketball was here.
Fun fact: Will and I were on the same first grade basketball team.
12 points per game, 8 points per game, something like that.
How do you know that?
You were the second best player. That's all I know. I would say more reinforced lessons.
Yeah.
I would say more of like, iron sharpens iron, and when that happens, it's going to get a little loud.
Yeah.
I mean, it hasn't always been smooth with my dad and I. It's been, argumentative, and I don't understand his perspective. He doesn't get my perspective. Sometimes during practice, I'll give him a look after I try to do something 3 times in a row. It doesn't work, but it works the 4th time, and I'll look at him like, see, it works, and then, But, I think that it's just a relationship is a working body of, conversations and actions, and I think just, forgiveness is a big thing. It hasn't. There's been a few times early in my Geneva career where it got a little testy. I think that the lessons that he brings out of it is just, it's all a work in progress.
Right.
There's never a finished product till it's finished. How do you set goals for yourself, like for your next season, for your senior season? Like, how do you set your goals?
This season specifically, I've thought a lot about, because I've like come off such a high from last season with like winning all the awards and everything like that. So I think this season, like what I really have set for myself is like being the best like leader and teammate I can be. I think this year specifically, it's like setting my team up for success after me. So like obviously I have the personal goals and stuff, but like I'm very particular. I'm very picky about like what I'm setting for myself this year because of last year. I've really put in emphasis on myself as like speaking into the freshmen and speaking into players younger than me, and like setting a standard basically for Geneva softball and what Geneva softball looks like even after I'm not here.
Reinvesting.
Yeah.
Yep. I've really started to focus on that later in the season, and then now, I try to do things more with the younger underclassmen and go bowling or drive them to Cranberry, or just try to like do things that people have done for me in the past.
Yeah.
To reinvest, so that they will then reinvest in the future, because that's how culture is. That's how culture works. That's how it breeds.
Yeah. And
better.
I think Geneva is just an entirely different culture than
Correct.
Anywhere else. Like we say all the time, like we know the team should know who they're playing without seeing the jersey on the front.
Yep.
Like just based on the way we act and the way we talk and the music we're listening to, and we pray in the circle before the game. And like it's just a very important thing to put the emphasis on culture for our team. And I want to make sure the freshmen understand that it's not just that, oh, this year we're going to do this. And it's like, no, this is how Geneva softball looks and is. So I think that's important.
I want to be remembered by how much I love this program, because some of my favorite days of the year are, our Christmas party, our picnic, and the banquet.
Yeah.
Those are some of my 3 favorite days of the year.
Yeah.
And I just want them to remember that I gave, my time, I sacrificed time, relationships, health.
Yeah.
I played through injuries that probably shouldn't have been played through.
Right.
I just want to be remembered that I really love this team, and I would do almost anything for it, and still probably will. Do
you have a favorite childhood memory from Geneva specifically, or like Geneva athletics?
That's a good question. One time, I'll say a couple. One time, I was building a catapult for 7th grade math, and obviously it's a great engineering program. So my dad brought me up, and Jonathan Shove helped me build a catapult. And I beat now teammate Noah Dorokowski in that 7th grade competition. So that was awesome. Like I said before, the picnics, the Christmas parties, the banquets, always a great time.
Yeah.
Always cry during the banquets when people are talking because
Yeah.
I'm just so emotional. I don't know how I'm going to do this year.
I know.
I don't know how I'm going to get through it. But I would say just going to the games and helping out with warm-ups. That was one of my, I told my dad this. I was like, you know, it wasn't the vacations growing up. It wasn't all the cool trips he brought me on. I just really love warming up the goalkeepers as a kid, like shooting on them,
Yeah.
crossing on them for like, I would show up an hour and a half early to games just so
Oh
I could
my
like
gosh.
watch them walk out, run down the stand, and start shooting on the goalkeepers.
That's
That
so
was
funny.
might have been my favorite thing I've ever done in my life. Was just those Wednesdays and Saturdays, just shoot on the goalkeepers.
Yeah. I
What about you?
think my favorite childhood memory with it is after my dad. I was really little. After my dad won PAC the one year.
2012, right, or 2011?
One of them. Don't tell him I don't know. 2011. After they won PAC in 2011, my dad got to coach a team full of like an all-star team of the PAC, and they went and played Team USA softball.
What?
Yeah, they went and played Team USA, and I remember the Team USA coach was the head Michigan coach at the same time, and I like went to the game to watch, and the Team USA coach let me come out during batting practice and like sit on a bucket next to him when he threw front toss.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was like crazy.
Did they win?
We're not going to talk about this. They got one hit. Actually, I think it may have been an error, and I think it might have been Ashley Davis who had the hit from Geneva College, but I can't remember. But
No, you
I knew they
remember.
had one hit. They got killed, but it was obviously a very, very fun experience. As a child, it was like crazy.
What are some things you learned about balancing life and athletics?
Yeah. So through college, I obviously worked a lot as well. So I work at Pizza Joe's a lot. But I think time management is actually one of my best skills because of that. I work almost 40 hours a week, student athlete. But I like always like thought that athletics was over everything. Like I came in like I'm coming to college to play softball. Like I am a softball player. And like I think that's one thing that Geneva shifted for me, and like knowing that my identity is not in softball. And I think that started, obviously, I tore my ACL and stuff with my injuries and all that. So not being able to put my identity in the sport because I couldn't play it. But I think Geneva definitely solidified that, and like knowing that my identity isn't in softball, it's in Christ. And so with that, like it's definitely been a perspective changer of like, okay, you go 0 for 3. I'm still going to be very upset about it, but like life goes on.
For me, I get time management, super big thing that every freshman learns as soon as your first meeting with coach every year. You get a time management sheet and you fill it out to the minute.
Oh my
and you
gosh.
follow that time management sheet in the fall. And that was, super helpful. I also think that I've recently gotten into journaling. That's been
Okay.
really helpful to like write things out, write my thoughts out and read them over again. But I think, time management is huge, because if you can't time manage what you do, like, because practice, that's set, like it's 3 to 5, like that's, and if you can't figure out what to do before or after that, and your grades start to dip, you're scrambling, you're exhausted going to practice because you're up too late doing who knows what. I just think that's the most important thing an athlete can learn in college is time management, because you are a student athlete, unfortunately not an athlete student.
Sometimes we forget that.
A lot of times, but yeah, I think that's definitely the most important thing I've learned as well.